Hello vapers, this is Vaping with an Acquired Brain Injury checking in. So, I've been watching some of the reviewers, they drive my head in. Do my head in, I mean. Especially when they're talking about RDTAs and, cutting the wick stuff short and using the tank like this. Fuck's sake. No. I've got on here, this is the iJoy Classic. It's a bitch to build on, this postless deck. If you get it brand new out of the box and you put that ring on and you find this crunchy, you need to have a very close look at the screws, the grub screws. What they've done, they've drilled clean through on both sides and it's left burrs on two of the screws. Okay, it's left burrs. So when you're putting this top, it feels crunchy, and sometimes you can't even get the top this ring to go back on, so you've got to put your goggles on and examine the holes carefully, and where you see those ridges, get a file and file them off, and you'll find that this ring goes on sweet as a nut. The grub screws are a bitch. Alright, they are not nice grub screws. They are Phillips head, and they are not the best Phillips heads in the world. They do round off easily. I switch out my grub screws and I put in the spare grub screws which I've got with my Avocado 24s. They fit. They're very good grub screws, and they've been treated and they're hardened and they do not strip. So my piece of advice is just switch out the screws if you're not happy with the screws. If you have a Griffin, Geek Vape Avocado 24, just swap out the screws and you've got a great device. Why I say it's great is the flavour you get off this tank is absolutely superb. No, you cannot fault it. This is a flavour beast. It really is. Now I've got in here dual coils. They are alien coils. They are 3 strands of 28 gauge with 36 gauge alien wire, and they're ohming out at 0.21, and you can see, angry as fuck. Beautiful flavour of them. Now I've very little juice in my tank, very little, as you can see that jar in the bottom, but that's by the by. I've got my wicks going all the way down and I can just literally vape away, vertical, don't have to tilt it or anything, and it just wicks up and wicks up. I can vape this tank dry and then vape the wicks dry. I can put in as much or as little or as much juice as I like into this tank. If I want to put 2 mil in there, I'll put 2 mil, not a worry, because the wicks are going to suck it up and try and, take it up to the coils, and Bob's your uncle. And if you want to change out the decks, which these are interchangeable decks, you want to put a velocity style deck in here, you can just vape the tank dry, and if you don't want to waste any e-liquid, you can vape the wicks dry and then just swap it all out, and you've got dry wicks. You've got a clean tank, well, an empty tank, and so you don't have to go worrying about making a mess anywhere because you've got a dry tank. So that's a great thing about using capillary action. So you can just vape it dry. And look, I try to point out to the reviewers that these are capillary action tanks, and it sucks up. When you vaporize the liquid from the coils, you're forming a space, air, okay, gaps, and what happens is the e-liquid fills in those gaps, so like circulatory, yes. And so you're taking the liquid from down here and it's being transferred up to here. And every time you create in a space, so long as you've got juice in those wicks, it's going to keep filling in that space. So yes, you can vape this until it's dry. And I don't know if you can see that. You can see how clean those wicks are, those coils. Bit of conductivity issues on there. There might be a loose leg, but as you can see. So when they're going on about gravity, I wish people would just get that word out of their heads. Gravity. Just think about capillary action and how it works. I could carry on all day. There's the juice. Not much juice in that tank. Hardly any. I don't have to keep tipping it from one side to the other to prime both coils. No need. And in fact, I've got, because this is a great thing, because you know, with the postless, you've got the wicks going down in the same holes, and so they're not separated. So you get more bang for your buck. You see, spotlessly clean. So I wish people would just try capillary action. Try wicking it down to the bottom. Waking up in the morning, and you get out your vape. You don't have to just do this and do that. Make sure there's juice in the wicks. Juice in the coils. There's going to be juice in the coils so long as you've got wet wicks. So anyway, that's capillary action. I have a bit of OCD and it drives me mad when I'm seeing people just saying you've got to use it like this and you've got to make sure that you've got the juice going to the... Fuck's sake, come on. If I was making these tanks, if I was a manufacturer of these tanks and people are saying this about, going about this, I'd be pissed off. I'd say, no, you've got the concept all wrong. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. You might say, well, it's on people's personal choice, preference, or whatever. That's all well and good. But, don't just be one of these, oh no, you have to, do it this way. That's the only way it's going to work. It's bullshit. No. It's a capillary action tank. It will work with the wicks down to the bottom. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the subject. Teddy bye.